You hear about AI constantly, right? It's everywhere. But have you ever really stopped to think about the sheer amount of money pouring into it? We're not just talking about a trend, we are talking about a financial wave so big it is literally reshaping our world as we speak. This is a $1.5 trillion bet on the future. Just look at that number, $1.5 trillion. That's the projection for global spending on artificial intelligence by 2025. I mean, to put that into perspective, that's more than the entire economy of a country like Spain or Australia. It is a staggering amount of money, and it signals a massive shift in what we as a planet are focused on. And what's even crazier is the speed. That global investment, it's on track to pretty much double in just a single year. This isn't some slow and steady growth. This is a flat-out financial explosion happening right now. So the big question is, what is fueling this fire? And really, a tsunami is the perfect word for it, because that's what this is, a massive surge of cash flooding into every single corner of the global economy. And listen, this isn't just about tech companies anymore. This spending is being driven by AI's integration into huge industries like retail, banking, even healthcare. They're all in a race to level up their operations. Okay, now look at what this chart is telling us. This is hard capital investment. We're not just talking about software licenses here. We're talking about a 67% jump this year alone to $375 billion on stuff like AI-optimized servers, semiconductors, the actual physical backbone of AI. That shows a deep long-term commitment. Businesses aren't just trying AI out, they're building the foundation for a future that runs on it. So with all this money flying around, where is it actually going? Let's break down the bill. Let's follow the money and see which parts of this whole AI ecosystem are really blowing up. And you'll see the spending is all over the place, covering every single layer of the AI stack. It starts with the hardware. That's the physical foundation, right? Then you've got the infrastructure and the application software that runs on top of it. And then, wrapped around all of that, you have AI services, the human experts you need to make it all work. So you see, this isn't just buying a product. It's building an entire ecosystem from the ground up. And let's just zoom in on one of those categories for a second. Spending on AI services, just that one piece of the pie, is projected to jump to over $325 billion by 2026. What that tells you is that companies aren't just buying AI off the shelf. They're paying top dollar for experts to help them integrate it, manage it, and squeeze every last drop of value out of it. But if there's one number that just captures the sheer explosive energy of this moment, it's got to be this one. $644 billion. That's the projected market size for generative AI alone by 2025. That's a massive 76% growth. It shows that tools like ChatGPT or Midjourney, they aren't just cool toys. They're becoming serious economic powerhouses. Now, this kind of investment doesn't just happen in a vacuum. Of course not. It's kicking off a brand new global race. We've seen what's being bought, so now let's take a look at who is leading the charge on the world stage. And right now, there's a very clear frontrunner. North America, which is mostly the US, is absolutely dominating the global AI market. We're talking over 54% of the entire global revenue share. That lead is being fueled by its super robust tech infrastructure and just a flood of private investment that outpaces pretty much the rest of the world combined. But while North America is hitting the accelerator, the picture in the Asia-Pacific region is, well, it's a lot different. They're facing some serious headwinds. Geopolitical tensions, investment slowdowns, it's all creating huge challenges. And it really shows you how this tech race is tangled up in global politics and economics. But hold on, this is not just a two-horse race. Just look at the different strategies popping up all over the world. The EU is taking a different route. They're choosing to lead on governance with their AI Act. Canada's focused on sovereignty, pouring billions into its own homegrown capabilities. And then you have countries like Singapore, Japan, and India making these really targeted bets, trying to become hubs for research or completely revolutionize key sectors like healthcare. Okay, so all this spending, all this competition, it promises incredible progress. It really does. But every technological revolution has two sides to it, right? So let's pivot for a minute and look at the human side of this boom, the promise and, well, the peril. And we have to ask this question directly. With trillions of dollars being poured into making machines smarter and more capable, what is the human cost? What does all this mean for our jobs, for our privacy, for our society? And the disruption is very, very real.
Current estimates suggest that about 6 to 7% of all jobs are at a high risk of being displaced by AI automation. And the impact is going to hit hardest in clerical and administrative roles, jobs that have been stable sources of employment for a long, long time.
But for the next generation of workers coming up, wow, the impact could be even more profound. Some experts are forecasting that as many as half, 50% of all entry-level white-collar jobs could simply vanish by 2027. That raises some really serious questions about what career paths are even going to look like.
And the challenges go way beyond just job losses. We're talking about major ethical hurdles. There's the risk of algorithmic bias, where AI actually makes existing societal problems even worse. There's the huge threat to our data privacy in a world that's always watching. And weaving through all of it are these massive regulatory gaps, where our laws are just struggling to keep up with the sheer speed of change.
So these are not easy questions, but they're the ones we absolutely have to answer. And that brings us to our final section. How do we navigate this new era? How do we find that right balance between pushing progress forward and protecting people? The path forward seems to require a three-part strategy. First, and this is non-negotiable, a massive investment in reskilling and upskilling our workforce. Second, companies have to foster cultures of innovation where employees are actually empowered to work alongside these new technologies, not be replaced by them. And third, we absolutely must develop and enforce strong ethical frameworks to guide how AI is built and used. And ultimately, this is the goal, isn't it? It's not just about building the most powerful AI or making the most profit. The real objective here is to create AI that's sustainable and ethical, something that can fuel real long-term growth while actively dealing with the very real societal concerns it brings up. So, the $1.5 trillion bet has been placed. The technology is accelerating faster than we can imagine. The only thing left to decide is us. As AI fundamentally reshapes our world, the ultimate question isn't about what the technology can do, but what we will choose to do with it. How will we, together, choose to balance innovation with responsibility?